I want to put the question out there as to whether Ronda Rousey's lucky panties might be wearing thin. I want to hear what other people think because with this morning's news, I kind of got a sinking feeling, and I use this title about the worn panties not as an insult. I'm actually a Ronda Rousey fan. The only UFC events I've ever paid for outside of the subscription rates for the fight library have been Ronda Rousey fights. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming her upcoming fight in UFC 195 against Holly Holm. And I think Ronda totally outclasses Holly Holm as a fighter. But I'm worried about her. I'm pretty concerned because of the news that has come out in the last week or so, the different news items that I've seen. I kind of wonder whether or not some of these things that are going on in her personal life are going to add an element of stress to her game that might end up hurting her. And the first thing, that came out a few days ago was the matter of her new boyfriend, Travis Brown. Right? He came out publicly and announced that they were an item, and then she confirmed it. And then the fans, started asking her, and the media, why would you go out with this guy? Why would you want to be around this guy when he has spousal abuse litigation ongoing? And she so adamantly talked out against Floyd Mayweather for the same kind of thing, right? Um, and it's a little bit, worrisome that she would be getting in a relationship with a guy that has those kind of allegations against him, because that spells bad news, um, or potentially bad news for her. So we'll see what comes of that. But that's an element of stress, even right there, that I think, was a first kind of a sign in the last week that something is amiss. But much bigger was the news that broke today, is the first that I saw it, where Ronda's mom, Dr. AnnMaria De Mars, went public and criticized Ronda's coach, her head trainer, Edmond Tarverdyan. Said that he was a bad person, said that she doesn't think anybody should go to his gym, said that as far as she's concerned, Edmund is like a pair of lucky underwear, that, Ronda won initially. Actually, that she'd come to Edmund with a long history of being a champion judo player, of course. Edmund wouldn't give her the time of day for a while when she went into his gym, and then when she started winning fights under him, she's kept him as like a lucky charm. Ronda's mom said she believes it's completely out of superstition that Edmund's kept around. And I think this poses a really big problem because from what I know biographically of Ronda Rousey, she's very close to her mom. And, values her mom's opinion. And I imagine that this, her mom going public and on video and saying these things against Edmund is going to be a huge problem in the Ronda Rousey camp, in her training camp for UFC 195. Um, and that kind of stress cannot be a good thing. Um, it's worrisome as a Ronda Rousey fan because I want to see her continue to just stay, completely on top of her game and unbeaten and dominant. Sure don't want to see her beaten by Holly Holm because her psychological game is off over these inside squabbles, these kind of things going on. So yeah, the question I'm posing out there, I just am interested in anybody else's feedback, whether anybody else is getting this kind of premonition that things are starting to slip in Ronda Rousey's world, and that this added stress element of issues going on with love relationships and romantic relationships and issues going on with tensions between her mom and Edmond could potentially cause Ronda big problems in her fight game. This is what I'm starting to feel, and it makes me question, makes me wonder how she's going to be able to perform at her best with all of these kind of things going on. And it's sad to see, to see something like this, like an athlete, and the potential for an athlete's career get sidetracked, not because of anything necessarily physical, but out of these social tensions. At the same time, though, it's very revealing that in the manner that we shouldn't necessarily think of our lives as compartmentalized, that we have these, we got our physical, health aside from our social health and psychological health and this kind of a thing. No, it's all tied together. And it's my feeling that it's all tied together. It's my intuitive sense that it's all tied together. It has to be, as far as I can rationalize. And so this is what causes me the concern. So I'm wondering if anybody else out there is feeling the same after this week's news, and how you all think it might affect Ronda's game.